Tex Avery, strange lad, sombre with serial laugh, cackling, soul longing to see others fall. There's a cynicism to it, a darkness. Slapstick, slapstick. He created Looney Tunes, brash colours and loud sound effects to indicate every edit. The characters always breaking the fourth wall. Swing ding dong dunk boom. The need to be over real. My favourite character of Looney Tunes is Bugs Bunny. Tex Avery had a rare condition in which he had very little balance, a lesser-known subsidiary of vertigo. He was constantly falling over, and the joke got dry eventually. This has been framed in his biographies as a link to the violent but very in-body or bodily action of Looney Tunes as an animation, an existential laugh, a strange and violent escapade like snot gelatinous. Gluey, sticky, it was there and it was not going away. Breaking the fourth wall, they aren't what they seem, the animation always appears as magic. Hidden hands draw this, things disappearing and the narrator being in complete control. I stared forever at that thing. I stared and I stared for hours. I think one of my first sexual encounters was with an animation, the overstimulated attempt at womanhood. In cartoons, was I in love with Kim Possible? An inception with the hyperstructure, dead-eyed mucus of fuzzy screen, rubbing flesh against plastic laminated floor, that fucking TV always watching me, saying I love you. Swing ding dong dunk boom. Tex Avery, someone you can trust with a dog for a week, I bet. Although he'd fall over that lovable, cynical oath. I trusted him, and I'm trying to locate if I can see him in his animations. A medium is only ever expressing something else, and I wonder what this animation really is. What was Tex trying to get across in this magic? A sadness of dead souls seeps through the melancholy of the void like Billie Holiday voice. Everyone in this film is gone. I learned about my body through overstimulated effects hand-drawn in Hollywood, California, 1936. Mutterings of fascism exist in the shadows of these dead animations. There's something fetishistic about having complete control over something, complete ownership. The saddest chord ever played, I see the faces of high-definition rendered sex animation, 2018. Beings stuck in a pleasure forever, smelling like balloons forced to perform over and over again. Their faces are fear, fucked and forgotten and muted. Their bodies always shiny, trying to get out of the screen. The proportions are strange, a purely aesthetic endeavour. Their sex is wet and dry, plasticine shaken like eel inflated. It is sad as it was made to be hard again and soft again and again, dripping wet but drier than dust, the driest thing I've ever seen, the saddest course ever played. Render farms of hundreds of computers whirring and whizzing and a bloke eating greasy crisps. The farm, hundreds of computers all working to compose this act of love, this sexual plethora that has been dreamed up in a hidden whispering of the brain, for it is a muscle, ideas of the dark, virtually physicality. I love you. Swing ding dong dunk boom. There's a violence in animation. Apparently Hitler loved Looney Tunes. This would have been pre-Tex Avery's heyday, but still. The 1942 satire film The Ductators was a specific favourite for him. There are archived text messages in which Adolf states how funny he found Mussolini's duck character in it, bald and fat and incompetent. Stalin loved westerns and Hitler loved Looney Tunes. The authorised and unaffected violence, it smelt like plastic death, cling film fuck job far removed from any action, any sort of consequence. MGM, the company that produced Looney Tunes, supplied it to Adolf through a complex thread of friends and acquaintances, lovers and strangers. Hand-to-hand process, network to network, a structure, a symbol, electrical grid, lights and pure information. MGM supplying Hitler with pleasure, big money. Coca-Cola made a shit ton of money from the Nazis actually. That black secret formula, thick mucus, advert syringe, Hitler, how poetic. Looney Tunes, 1936, Coca-Cola sweet. Tex Avery always fell over the massive klutz. His relationship with pain was up close, his forgotten vertigo, his constant cut of a knee. Infected a million times with pus, he falls over and got back up, so many times. Falls over, gets back up, 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 and falls over and gets back up. Animation somehow showing the facts of numbness, both reminding us that we are bodies, but also forgetting it. To be porous is to be dangerous, but it is a danger. Tex Avery, I love you, you dead fucker. Swing ding dong dunk boom.